Hey, welcome back. This is part 2 of finishing up the stabilizer. If you are new to the channel, we're building the 750 Cruiser, and I hope you stick around. Deburred the skin and primed it. Clecoed it on almost every other, and the back is 0. Let's put this right here and see where it is. 0. So to me, that means they're parallel and level. It said to rivet the center first, so clecoed the whole thing up every other. It's amazing how strong these get once they are riveted together. But even at this point, look at how that twists. I don't want to do much, but I thought that was interesting. Now it's time to inspect all the rivets all the way down on both sides, because once we pull that down, it'll close these off. Make sure there's no cats or dogs or small children inside. The last one I didn't have very good edge distance, so this one I'm cut a little longer and moving it up and down, trying to get it centered because I can't see back in there. Now you can see I can move those back down, both of them just a hair, and I'll have proper edge distance. It says to rivet these in now, all 4 corners. Good as new. Just a quick note, if you get done fitting all this and drilling your holes, it's a little tight in here for your rivet gun. I didn't think of it soon enough, but I got one in, and then I realized I can uncleco this, move it out of the way, and get these 2 in here, and then do these 2 afterwards and put it back in place. I'm not going to film this whole process. I just wanted to show you where we were at on it. It is sketchy at best. I don't like trying to put so much tension on that new skin, of course, and you can see that it really pulls down when you start putting the clecos in. But I guess that's what it says. Start in the middle and work your way out. Okay, I'm stopping and breathing a minute. It took that many clecos, one after the other, no skipping, to get it to release the tension enough to where I can start going every other now. Okay, here we go. This is the big reveal. I haven't really even looked at it yet. There's a little more tension in here, in this area. If you see, than the rest. The rest is really, really smooth. Huh, I wonder why there's more tension there. All right, well, I'm gonna put the rest of the Clecos in and see if that relieves that spot. Well, that took care of it. And it took the craziness out. So I'm a firm believer in, we went to a riveting class at the chapter 145 up here in Jackson, and it was informative. One of the guys that was teaching said that if he's doing a row, he puts all the Clecos in that row and then takes them back out. And I understand why Roger says you're just making more work for yourself. And that might be true, but with something like this that wants to find its center, wants to find that happy spot where the frame wants to sit, I want all the tension I can in there before I start riveting. And yeah, it's looking good. On this stabilizer, they have the holes drilled, pre-drilled of course, all the way down through on these now, but these are smaller in the back. And in instructions, I think that putting the hinge in there and drilling that through and clamping it down, you don't have to try to hit a hole on the other side. I don't think them were drilled when the instructions were out. So there's really no way to know once I clamp the hinge in there if I'm going to hit that hole in the back perfectly. But as you can see, if you can see, like these, even though I don't have any Clecos small enough to put tension on that, to pull that out, I don't have a perfect match there. But down here, it's all pre-drilled out to the right size, but only about a foot in, about 10 inches in. On both sides they did that. And that really does help line it up, because as I put all those in, this did change. It's amazing how much it changes just with a few more Clecos. So my recommendation is, if you want to take the time, you've come this far, put them all in and see if it helps. Hey, I think I finally figured it out. You know, we were talking about that these first few holes are all number 30s. And then these are 3/32 all the way down, and you step them up one at a time, and they match the 3/32 on the back. Well, when I drill mine, I put the 3/30 here. There we go. When I drill mine, I put the 3/32 in the center and let it slowly get through the hinge. And as it gets through the hinge, you can feel that stepped part hit the hole on the other side, and it's not perfect. So I just let it wear it in, and once you feel it wear it in, then I finish drilling the rest away. And now I can upsize that, when I can upsize this once it's all done to the 20s. But I think I figured it out why they have this like this, because it used to have a shorter hinge. So they haven't changed how these get cut out. And of course, you would up drill through something like this because it's raw and there's nothing there. So that's the deal. These would just be Clecoed. So we have to deal with the fact that we have to match drill these out on the end to get the hinge to fit. And it's just a little different process on that end. Whatever you think will work really good for keeping it centered. I think we'll just go with instead of the step up, these should stay centered in the hole. Let's give one a try. Not bad. Now you can see how much that drill changes center when I go through. That first little tip wears that hole and elongates it, and then the outside step of the 20 makes it round. I just noticed that when I pulled the skin over, of course it's riveted to the other side and you have to slowly take it over. I don't think there's any way around this, but it dimpled the ends. The only, here, if I can get the angle just right, Bill. Unfortunately, I don't think there's, my clock's going off. Stop it. Sides. But this touches as you're bringing it around, and it puts a nice dimple in the front, and it did it on both sides. If you're really worried about that, then kind of figure out a way to keep that from touching, I guess. Okay, the next step, lots of steps. After I've up drilled these in between the bronze, I think they're bronze, copper? Anyway, clecos, I put the blacks in. We'll remove these and upsize them. You probably don't have this part in your kit, but I have it in my kit. It's, let's see if I can get it to focus. It's DZ75001. These are gonna be divided up into little shims, actual like square washers. And I don't like that this really compresses here. I know it does that on a lot of places on this plane build, but I can easily put these in all the way along to take up that transition. And I think I'm going to. Hey, fun fact for the video. Haven't done this in a while. Consider the height of your table. Don't just go by whatever standard is. If you're a short guy like me, consider an inch down there for the legs for adjustment, and consider the 2 inches of these blocks that are going to hold your parts in front of you and the thickness of the part. This one happens to be only 29 inches after it's adjusted, and it's worked out really good. Well, all done and upsized. Pretty painless. Deciding where to cut the hinge and how to end, if you should end on a full lug or half, is something I can't find any good answers to yet. I went ahead and riveted all these because I only have a few that I'd have to take out to deburr. So now it's deconstruction, get the skin up enough where I can check for any kind of debris, anything that might have fell in there. I cracked this open and vacuumed it all the way along, and that seemed to clean it up good, but now we got to disassemble. Guys, if I'm giving you too much detail, let me know down in the comments, but I have to drill, you can see this rivet, the one on the top. That's to get this doubler out. And I have a pair of very tiny vice grips. Which I can grab the back of the head, give it a little wiggle. And we didn't have to drill the hole out at all that way. Yay. My last thoughts on this part of the project is don't grind your rivet guns down too far, because the cast ones just crush. The steel ones are real strong. You can knock a piece off that and they stay. Got my tip on. It was really nice to see that part done, but I'm not going to match that up there until, of course, we get the elevator done, and that's the next project. So I'm going to clean up this whole mess, organize my parts, maybe even organize over there a little bit more. So the next one will actually look a little bit better. That's going to be this morning. And then we're going to start on the elevator. And the other thing was that the elevator trim tab was dented quite a bit. I had taken it out and looked at it when I was doing the 2-week inventory, and I didn't notice it. So I called them and asked if it was too late, and they said no, not if it was damaged in the wrapping and it was protected. So they sent me out one. That was really nice. One last thing, make sure you get the flexible one, because the straight, you have to have the head a certain way and it might not clear and the drill might be in the way of something. So I guess we're going to end this one here. This was a lot bigger project than what I thought it would be. No kidding. So I can't imagine what the wings are going to be like. Thanks for coming along. If you like these, please like them. If you want to come along, subscribe and hit the bell notification. I'm putting them out a little quicker than what I thought I would. So we'll see you next one.